Hello world, my name is Max Stein and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
Happy Friday, friends. Vinny here, and I love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we discuss treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Today, we're mostly talking about yesterday. Not the far yesterday, but just slipped out of our hands yesterday.
This year.
All those video games are so far away. All those
Please,
games
Beatles,
that I
don't
just
sue us
want to
today.
play. Sit down and play Astrobot today.
Man, are the Beatles in here?
When
with
When
us?
will I? Anyhow, I could ad-lib a song forever.
Fly away.
Yep.
It is
It's in our DNA.
Thanksgiving week, and I was, I'm planning the episodes, and I was just like, damn, we've been eating good this year on video games,
Which
but
we
there are
have.
so many games that are left over, that we left on the table, that we left on our plate,
Oh, so
that we
sad.
left at the buffet bar, that we didn't go and get up when we still had room in our stomachs, and
It's
now
the cranberry
there's-
sauce of video games. It was
It
on
was
the
so
plate,
yummy.
but
tragedy.
didn't
Yeah.
eat enough of it. Oh, I wish I'd ate a little bit more with my
I ate
turkey,
too
and
much
I just
good stuff. I
Ooh.
didn't have
Yeah.
room for that.
They
Sweet
just
potato
had,
pie
there was
was so yummy.
Balatro this year, and so I just didn't do anything else.
Oh my
That's
god,
true.
no! I have an extensive list of games
that's
that I
very
wanted to play
real.
this year.
That's
Yeah.
very real.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into the games of the year, in December. But now I wanted to sort of be thankful for video games by, like I said, reminiscing over the games that we didn't get time to play enough of or play at all. But before we do that, we have some interesting video game news that dropped yesterday as of this recording. It is on the surface not that wow crazy, because there's rumors of this have been circulating for a while, but so Phil Spencer, sort of in a very Austin Powers type way, basically confirmed that there's going to be an Xbox handheld. How did you know about the weapons of mass destruction? You just told me, baby. So there
This
was
is
a-
an Xbox. This is
I
an
was gonna
Xbox.
ask
you to
This is an
elaborate on
Xbox.
this.
Yeah.
Got him.
There was somebody speculated, some journalists speculated about an Xbox handheld coming in 2025, and Phil Spencer made a comment on it and said oh, well, not in 2025.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing as saying it's coming later after
He said
that.
it's real, but it's years
Yeah.
away. Like, dude,
Right.
you're
Right.
Microsoft, and you're this far behind the 8-ball. What the shit?
Yeah, that's the TLDR that's not very interesting, which is his explanation is well, we really want to get the app to be up to stuff, and so that we could have Xbox on this and Xbox on that and
Valve
Xbox
and
on this.
Asus to kick our asses for a few years before we make one that's the same or not as good.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's like you're gonna let the competition kind of run
Yes.
rampant on you before you release
weird.
your handheld. Yeah.
It's weird because mid last year, early last year, remember people talking about Xbox isn't even going to make consoles anymore. They're going to switch
I
over
remember.
and
Yeah.
do what Buck just
We
said,
talked
where
about it here. Yeah.
you can put your Game Pass on
Sega.
your fridge, you can play Game Pass on a toaster and whatever on your
Can you
lawnmower.
imagine, though?
Which is-
And
Mm.
they are doing that,
Yes, 2026.
because-
It's a thing.
like Buck said, the article says, they want to flesh out their app, which is code for we want people to play Xbox on their phones, we want people to play Xbox on their tablets, we want people to play Xboxes on their fridge. But then is that not, like you said, counterintuitive to the idea and
check
then
this out, right?
we will make a device that is there thinking, here's my question, is there thinking, and then we will make a device to rival the Steam Deck? 'Cause
Which other
that,
people
I
have already
feel
done,
is-
like the Asus ROG Ally and stuff.
They're going to
like
make
that.
something stronger than the Switch, right?
So check this out. This is what this is.
Obviously, yeah.
This
and they're
is
not
the
going to
timeline.
make just the PS Portal, like a thing that's
No.
sort of just a
No,
remote
it sounds
play
like they're
thing.
going to make a they're going to make a handheld like this, like the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally.
Right.
But look at this. This I might be a little off here, but this is the timeline. This is what happens, right? Xbox makes console to get into console wars. Steam, Valve takes over as digital provider of games, right?
Mhm.
Valve at some point tries to make handheld or tries to make home console, Steam Link or whatever that home
Yeah.
thing was called.
Yeah.
Let you play your Steam. Doesn't really do that well. Nintendo makes console that is home console that has handheld device. The Wii U doesn't do so well. Nintendo makes portable hybrid console, destroys everything. Valve stops just making software. They only make games anymore. They just have Steam,
Right.
and they make a portable handheld that blows all the rest of them out of the water and
Right.
changes the landscape even more than Nintendo did with the Switch.
Yeah.
Like
Do you-
this roller coaster of hardware, software, hardware, software, software.
Do you think that Microsoft's vision, the premise, is that handheld gaming is because I was thinking about it and I was like, so they're gonna keep doing it on because I play on my Razer Kishi, which is a $40 device that
Right.
isn't that Microsoft didn't get my money for, and so I could see them over there going like, why didn't we get money for that? We can make one of those, right? And they're going, well, boss, let's address the phones first, and then we'll get to that. And they go, okay, and then we'll get to that. And then the reason that's relevant is because he's going to keep playing that next year, right? Oh, yes, sir. Mobile gaming is I guess my collected thought is mobile gaming the future? I mean, obviously, mobile gaming been around forever, but handheld gaming, yeah,
it's hybrid gaming. The Switch 2 has already been confirmed to be backwards compatible with Switch games.
Right.
It's
which
being
is
able
awesome.
to play it and then come home and play the same game with the cloud save on your bigger screen. And in some cases, in the case like the Steam Deck and the Switch, using the same device. The Switch has a dock. The Steam Deck has a dock and or just an output for HDMI.
Or even just capitalizing on how many of us do the double screen thing now, where it's just like your partner wants to watch this on TV, but you really just have this RPG that you need to pretty much play every day,
and
or
that's
you're
where
never
the
going to beat
PlayStation
it.
Portal came from. That everybody made
Right.
fun of them for, and then it sold out immediately. And
I think it's a
Sony
great
went,
idea.
aha!
Yeah.
And
We
then
just
Microsoft
made
went,
yesterday.
oh shit, we should do that too. Don't forget that Xbox also has that Project Brooklyn slated to come out in 2028, which is
Fuck
the
is that?
redesign. I know.
Yeah.
Is
The
that little
redesign
tiny
of the
thing?
Xbox X, remember? There was
Jesus
like
Christ.
leaks of that online.
Eh,
It's the all digital Xbox X that looks like a giant butt plug, basically.
You know, it's funny because you said it, and I was initially going to talk shit about Microsoft and talk shit about the Xbox with this
course we
whole
are.
like come to the table late, but they came to the table late with the original Xbox too, and that blew up.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going to refine this to a degree where it's not just a viable thing.
Have
but
you
it
played
is
a Steam Deck, Raph? They
haven't-
didn't really
I
make
haven't.
many.
Just-
There aren't really many mistakes to speak of on that device.
Right.
It is pretty. They all of that other stuff I mentioned before in the timeline was a giant test of how
Right.
to make this thing work. The controller they made with the little things in the touchpad that work.
You
with
mean the Steam Deck
Link.
is the refinement of
the Steam
of the
Deck already
technology.
is the
yeah.
refinement.
Yeah,
They would
okay,
have to.
alright.
Speaking from the seat of someone who does not own a Steam Deck and will probably never own a Steam Deck and is perfectly content with the Portal, I can echo Buck here. It's an impeccably done piece of hardware to a point where they have sold a whole nother wave of these just by adding an LED screen. And you
Yeah,
got
right.
people who are wanting to upgrade who already owned one. They love
There's
it
the
so
OLED.
much.
The OLED
Right.
just got
Yeah.
announced.
I literally wasn't
It's
gonna know the
crazy.
OLED's out already, and I
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
don't have that one, and now I'm like, shit.
The
How much
OLED's out
longer until they
already? Oh my
release
God.
like a
that,
Steam
that's
Deck
what I
2? 'Cause
meant.
I would
That's
almost
what I
agree.
meant. The
I
OLED.
figured that's what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they've
that's
also
what I
done
meant.
special editions. They did a special edition one with some orange accents, and they just
No, I was
announced
talking
a
about the
white
OLED.
special edition.
They have that white one that's almost $700.
That's-
$700.
If
That's
Xbox
beautiful.
can give it an OLED screen, make it. I mean, would they make it? I know they don't want to. If they're doing Brooklyn, they won't do it dockable,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
They won't do it dockable, so it'll be a handheld thing. But if it's one step above the Portal and it's not just a stream of, if it's a thing you could actually, because their service is a streaming thing anyhow. I don't know. They would just have to deck it out in hardware, period. It would have to
Right.
be decked out with a nice screen. It doesn't have to necessarily even have like internal storage that's that big to store most of the games that are on Game Pass if you want. I don't know.
They would have to revolutionize to make it better because
Right.
it's already pretty damn near perfect.
And it would have to be $199.
Yeah.
which is what the
yeah.
Portal is because
The
it's
Portal's
mostly software.
Maybe that's the refinement. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the refinement, making these things cheaper and actually affordable.
Better
you
internet
know?
is the refinement,
Yeah.
so you can stream your games, right?
I
Right,
was
yeah.
just
From
about to
anywhere.
say that because here's the refinement in my opinion. You get a device like the Portal. The big rub to the Portal though is that you cannot stream games directly to your Portal. You have to stream games to your PlayStation, which then sends the signal via remote play to the Portal. The
Right.
refinement is that you let the software inside the Portal connect directly to the PSN account and stream the game directly, no system needed in between. That's what the Portal is lacking.
But something's
That,
got to do the processing power, so it's got to be
Mhm.
the device
but
in that
why?
case.
No, but why? There's it's literally just you're streaming. All the
Yeah,
processing
because that's
power
how
is
the
located
Xbox app
off-site.
works.
That's how they stream.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's how you stream a game from the cloud to your PS. Your PlayStation is not processing anything. It's just receiving the signal and interfacing with the controller.
As long
So
as you have
why
good
couldn't
internet. Yeah.
as
Mhm.
long as you have good internet. But let me tell you, I've played the Portal outside of my home internet environment. And honestly, unless you're playing Mortal Kombat or something like lightning fast, like a first person shooter, you're
Mm-hmm.
not going to notice the difference. I played Unicorn Overlord 400 miles away from my system, and it was a near perfect experience because you don't need, 10 millisecond latency to play an RPG or even most games, unless you're doing like competitive multiplayer.
Professional adult gamers on the go is going to continue. Therefore, this market will stay around for them. And Xbox is going, fuck it. We'll capitalize on that later. It's not going anywhere. I, for one, am just happy to see the mobile console gaming market grow because Game Boy was huge when I was a kid. Then it
Yeah.
kind of disappeared. I had a PSP, but only had like 2 games for it. And then the DS came and it was like, whoa, and it's always Nintendo. And now I want to live in a world where PlayStation and Nintendo and Xbox and Steam all have fucking
amazing
handheld.
If someone
Let's fucking go.
revolutionizes it-
And there's an analog pocket on my desk.
If
Let's
someone
fucking-
Mac, that's a
revolutionizes it, it's going to be
great
Nintendo with the
point,
Switch too.
actually.
It's not going to be Microsoft with some
I agree
fucking
with
handheld.
Buck.
Yeah.
Although if Sony announced tomorrow that they were going to release a Portal 2 that you could hook it up to your PlayStation online subscription and stream the games directly to it with no system needed, I'd buy it tomorrow. I would buy it tomorrow because that library is huge.
to
Absolutely
the
huge.
future.
Yeah.
To the
To
future.
the future of gaming.
Honestly.
I want to play games everywhere. Do
Huzzah.
not deny me. It is my right as a human. All right, enough of the talk of the future, this news of the future. Let us go back. RetroGameTreasure.com and the Mega Buck take us to this week's Retro Zone.
Let's go
please.
back in time. I'm in a platformer run and gun kind of mood, boys.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Hell yeah. What do you
So
got?
we're gonna visit a
Yours just
gem
perked up.
published by Konami for the Sega Genesis,
Mhm.
designed by Nobuya Nakazato, who was famous for doing the latter half of the Contra games, like Alien Wars, Hardcore, and Shattered Soldier.
Okay.
I'm talking about our possum buddy Sparkster Rocket Knight Adventures on the
Whoa,
Sega
cool-ass
Genesis.
game.
I don't know what
That's
this
a-
is. What?
That's a
Dude.
good one.
It's a good
Whoa, what is
Raph
this?
YouTube it. It's got
YouTube
great
it,
animation.
alright.
It's like playing
and
a little
the
comic book.
controls. Yeah, and the controls were control. When I say like Contra, that's a good parallel because the controls are so
Yeah.
tight on this game. It's what makes it. You play as a possum named Sparkster. They also released this on the SNES. It was a different game though, but it was just called Sparkster, named after the character. And so you go through linear levels. He's got a sword and a rocket pack, and so he's got all kinds of cool special abilities that Sparkster can do on all those things. Rebound off walls and use the directional pad to fly in all different directions. Swinging his sword and spinning in circles and whatnot as well too.
All right.
This got a re-release on the Switch. I believe this
believe
was
so,
this year. Yeah, Rocket Knight Adventures
really?
Resparked.
Mm-hmm. Get it?
Yeah,
I did
that's
not
what I'm
know
looking
this.
at. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, oh, it came out on Steam too.
that's hot.
I've never played this one, but I've seen it not
cool.
only from this release, but just on the internet. And the art is so cute. It's like a little rat Mega Man.
Yeah, it's also got some shmup levels too. Some levels where his jetpack and he's flying, and it plays more like
damn, it's
like
got
a
some
Gradius.
crazy speed on it.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
it
this
was
is
Moving fast
really
as hell.
Wild.
yeah. And
This
the
is
controls are really tight and really fun, really good in this.
Holy shit! You're like moving at Sonic
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
speeds without actually coming to a complete halt every 13 seconds.
Remember, kids, Konami doesn't make games anymore.
Ugh.
Yes, they do. They made the Silent Hill remake.
No,
or
they
whatever.
gave them the money
that's
for
right.
someone else
Blooper
to make
team
it.
made that one. Yeah, yeah.
They did Bloodstained Castlevania, Dead by
That's
Daylight
true, that's true,
Castlevania,
yeah.
Vampire Survivors Castlevania a couple of weeks ago. Finally.
All the re-releases of the DS and GBA Castlevanias on every console everywhere. And like you
Nice.
just said, a re-release of this as well. They only re-release IPs they own. They don't make new games.
So, what sort of preferences do Retro Game Treasure subscribers need to have to get Rocket Knight Adventures? It's a platformer. E for everyone? No, there's no rating system at this time.
Good old fashioned. This one run around the same. It might have a rating on the box as well too. But it's a good old platformer run and gun deal, and use the wish list feature for sure. This one's crept up to about $25, give or take, but it's still budgetable in our boxes because you're going to get 3 to 5 games, right? So that's only a chunk of the budget of your box for a month.
There you go. I wish I had more opinions on it, but alas, I've never played it. All I can say is
Same
it
here,
looks really
yeah.
cool. It's got really fast-moving platforming.
Great character designs. Yeah.
That's I think why it's worth $25. Honestly, is just because it looks so fucking cool.
Right, yeah.
Well, hey, let's go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get a little bit silly talking about leftovers. Okay, it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving this week. And before we talk about our leftovers, I wanted to get a little stupid because I enjoy being silly and stupid. And I asked these guys to come up with some video game foods that they want to see at their video game Thanksgiving. Buck, would you like to go first with some video game foods you'd like to eat at your do you want to paint me a picture of your video game Thanksgiving?
My video game Thanksgiving is this picture I sent you of all of my Switch games. Max said backlog games.
Switch games.
Max said backlog games of this year. I said, yep, I've got some, no problem. But you have to remember, kids, that when you buy physical games, it's not a backlog. It's a collection.
Boy.
So the first one on my list that I don't know if any of you guys have on yours, what?
Pause.
Did you
think of any video game foods that you wanted to eat for your video game Thanksgiving?
You mean like actual food from the wall of the Castlevania castles?
Or anything from hundreds of other video games in which you eat foods?
Oh, I would probably eat the wall chicken from Castlevania.
All right, I'll go first with video game Thanksgiving since the assignment was a little confusing, I suppose. So here's my spread. First of all, I'm inviting someone to my Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I'm inviting the entire Kong family from Donkey Kong Country. Why?
You're gonna eat them? I thought that's
so
what
that
the
I
spread
can
was.
So that I can shut up. So that I can tell them. So that I can tell them that I love them and appreciate them because they helped make one of my favorite series of video games for the Super Nintendo ever, and also so that me and Funky Kong can go smoke weed out back before Thanksgiving starts. My spread, I'm thinking I'm getting I've got some nice aged ancient fruit wine from my Stardew Valley farm, a game that I poured nearly 120 hours into this year.
Fun.
Patch just hit its console version, and I don't want to tell my girlfriend because then we'll have to start playing it again. But yeah, I got a nice ass bottle of aged ancient fruit wine. That's a $2,000 bottle. So me and the Kongs are splitting that and getting down on some hearty fried wild greens from Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
they increase your max health, and they'll give you a little bit of stamina, and you're gonna need that for all the Thanksgiving activities you're gonna be doing, all the football, all the wrestling you're gonna be doing with Cranky Kong. I'm going to have a big roasted Max tomato from Kirby. I gotta have my health all the way filled with a side of super potatoes
from Super Potatoes,
which is actually just made out of smashed brotatoes from Brotato.
Oh my God!
Did you know that
set
there's
the
a chain
table
of...
with a horker? Yeah, of course I do. That's the joke. I'm going to set the table with a Horker loaf from Skyrim, a deviled Yoshi egg, a
Wow.
big roasted meat from Monster Hunter, and lastly, a straight up Gar from Metal Gear Solid 3. Just a live Gar on the table for everyone to munch on. And don't forget dessert. Me and Cranky Kong are going to ride that surfboard all the way to Donkey Kong's hoard and steal some bananas to make some banana cream pie. And laugh the entire way as we know Donkey Kong's going to be so mad.
I got to know,
Mhm.
what made you think that you didn't need to go first in that bit?
Well, mine was probably going to be the funniest, so normally you'd save it for last.
I've got a good list. Although
Go ahead.
I do want to say, Mac, the implications of a Yoshi egg are actually quite sad.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Aborted Yoshi fetus.
Yes,
It's a
exactly,
deviled
yeah.
Yoshi egg. It's,
It's-
you know,
it's
I don't need
a
to know
little
how the
tragic.
sausage gets made.
So I do have a set of party guests, and it's not not a big list. Although the last person on my list is really a group of people. So, you know, rounding out the chefs that are going to be cooking is going to be Ignis from Final Fantasy 15, because most
Nice.
of my food list comes from Final Fantasy 15.
Is that the one with the spiky blonde hair?
He's got the glasses.
Glasses.
He's the
Okay.
He's the chef. He's the
royal
cook in
guard.
the
He's-
group.
Yeah, exactly.
The cute
Um,
one.
What's that?
No, I'm just kidding.
They're all cute.
I don't
No,
know.
no,
I
no,
just
no.
said
No, Prompto is the wild spiky blonde.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
thank
guys,
you.
they
Yes,
call this the
yeah.
boy band Final Fantasy for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's gonna say a different answer when you say the
Yeah.
cute one.
The cute one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true,
yeah.
So I've got Ignis. I also invited Link from Breath of the Wild because he can cook
He's
a
a great
mean
cook.
pumpkin
Yeah, yeah.
stew.
Sometimes.
All right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's why one of the foods on my list, I wanted to make sure that we have some fried rookie on rice from Final Fantasy 15 because it gives you an attack and an HP boost, but it also makes you poison proof just in case Link makes that dubious food.
and you're gonna
Yeah.
need that extra health for all that
The
roughhousing you're gonna be doing with
Exactly.
those
You
cute
never
boys.
know, man. You
The
never
steak
know.
is
Exactly.
raw.
Go back
I
there and
also-
toss the ball around with the guys.
Right. Yes. Rounding out my
that's
chef
funny.
list is going to be Garl from Sea of Stars. And I'm going to have him
Oh,
bring.
Oh, there you
super
go.
helpful for Thanksgiving in the kitchen.
Now we're talking.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's going to bring Valer. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Valerie or Valer? I don't know. Valer and Zale.
Valier? I don't know.
Oh,
That's how
Valir,
I
yeah,
pronounce
right.
Those are
I've
the
always
characters
wondered how
from
you pronounce
Right.
that.
Stars, yeah.
And then finding my last two are Goku because Goku is a video game character, despite what anybody thinks. He's
Technically,
technically a
you're
video game
right.
character, and he's going to finish all those leftovers. He's not going to leave anything behind.
Okay,
Um,
that's what I was gonna say. Now he is gonna try to eat all
Oh.
your food.
Like a
You're
That's fine.
gonna have a problem.
That's
there,
fine.
and I hope
Yeah.
you brought enough because he's famous for eating all the food.
Absolutely, yeah,
That's
no.
Uh,
My last one is literally everybody from the true ending of the game Islets because it's all so cute and so very nice. Everybody at this party is going to be so friendly. We're
A
all going to
game
have a
you
great time.
loved this year.
I absolutely love this game.
A game
Islets
you're
is
thankful for.
yes, I am very thankful for this game. I 100%ed it, which I've never done that before.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, as far as foods that I want to have, man, that Japanese curry and coffee from Persona 5 Royal, that sounds so good.
Oh, I almost
That's-
picked that as well. I was gonna do the
Nailed
big
it.
burger, but I was like, no, I gotta get the Monster Hunter meat.
Yeah,
in it.
dude, it sounds so good. I've got stuff like the garden curry from Final Fantasy 15, the creamy fowl saute from Final Fantasy 15,
I
the
gotta play
spicy
that
long
game.
bone rib steak from Final
The
Fantasy
fact that
15.
everybody thinks it's stupid is like makes my brain be like, wait, that means you'll like it. Wait,
I
hold on.
fucking
I'm
love
like,
that
wait.
game, dude. I love that game. And then
It sounds
obviously
so good.
a pumpkin stew from Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild
Uh,
has
yeah.
the best cooking mechanic in any video game ever. Fight me about it. Like
Mm.
I know there's no mini game to it, and it's just
Yeah.
a simple game of experimenting with the ingredients. But the fact that the
okay.
ingredients were just around, and it has that amazing jingle whenever you cook. That's just I never got old. I don't know what is happening musically with that food is done jingle.
I love it.
But they hit a series of notes that just don't get old, no matter if you hear them literally 600 times.
You should play Final Fantasy 15 because the food in that game, it's more so the way it looks, but I like foraging for ingredients, but then just it all looks. I mean, look up any of the recipes that I mentioned on here.
Yeah, they're super.
And
Heather Ann Campbell's joked about that on Get Played or whatever as
Yeah,
well,
right,
how
yeah.
good the food looks in 15. I'm pretty sure there's been numerous 15 cafes over there in Japan.
There's got to be. There's
Final
got to be.
Fantasy
collab
15
cafes
based.
with
Yeah,
you
yeah,
or
they always
You know,
do.
the fact that Square Enix hasn't come out with a recipe book is just wild, honestly.
What? I have the Final Fantasy 14 cookbook.
For 14?
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
that's
Well,
cute.
that's my party, honestly. Goku's gonna be doing security too. I figured, have the strongest guy there just in case anybody gets rowdy.
Yeah, I also often hire security for my Thanksgiving
I do
dinners,
it every
just
year,
in case people try to fucking
because
crash them.
you never know when Vegeta's gonna show up and try to fuck shit up, right?
Oh my gosh.
But that's my
And of
party
course,
animal.
let's throw in a wall turkey in there from Castlevania for buck's sake. Venny, you got any video game foods that ever enticed your brain, want to jump into the game and eat them?
Oh gosh, absolutely. And I think we need look no further than to start us off at breakfast with Final Fantasy 14. The fluffy pancakes in
Mm.
FF14, which is a craftable food item
Oh my god.
that you can then place inside your home. I linked
Mhm.
it in our chat. These are the thickest,
Ooh.
fluffiest, most
Mm,
jiggly
mm, mm, mm,
pancakes you will
mm.
ever see in your entire life.
Benny, I'm gonna
Right
take you out for
next,
some in Japan. I'm gonna
there you
take you
go.
out
I
for some.
totally
Right,
forgot that cooking was like a full blown
it's a
job in that
class.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Yeah.
no
a
way,
thing
for
you can
real?
level up and
I'm a
do.
level
Culinarian.
90 culinarian, just
Culinarian.
FYI.
Amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
Um,
That's so funny. Ah.
right next to my hand poured coffee in the mug that Buck gifted to me a couple years ago that says Eorzea's okayest red mage, which I don't have here because unfortunately the handle broke, but it was a good
That is
memory.
fantastic vibes.
So that's
Ooh.
breakfast, and then moving on to some Unicorn Overlord food. If you've not played
Mhm.
Unicorn Overlord, there's a dish there. This is a carnivore spread called cheese-filled steak haché. You've
Oh,
got
what? What
this
is
It's like a
this? You
2D
make
version
amazing,
of the
food in this
Monster
game?
Hunter food. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because you use it to boost up the teammates that you have in different groups.
It's adorable
Oh my
looking. This is
It's
god.
like
amazing.
it's like
Yeah.
2D versions of
Fantastic.
Monster Hunter food.
It's fantastic. You've got the
Sorry, I
steak,
didn't
the
mean to
cheese
interrupt you,
spread.
but I did not know about this at all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's beautiful, and they all have their. The
Mhm.
cool part is they put these whole spreads together, and each time you order a meal, it gives you a cutscene of
Mhm.
them all sharing the meal. You just hear them talking about the food, and it's just a really
Yeah.
really cool thing.
Use it to
And
increase their
that's how you build
bonds.
the bonds
Yeah.
between the characters. And
Adorable.
probably for
Adorable.
dessert, we'll snatch up one of those parfaits from the cafe in Shinjuku in Persona 5. Let's go.
Yummy, yum, yum, yum. I'm full. I'm all full.
Wait, I want a side of low poly grapes with that.
Oh,
Low
then look
poly
no
grapes,
further
right
than
on.
Labyrinthos in the Endwalker expansion of Final Fantasy XIV. Although I hear that Yoshi P fixed those grapes,
They are
sadly.
rip low
14's
poly
got
grapes.
some low poly grapes.
When they did an
It was
upgrade, they did the new
oh
expansion
god,
and they
it
upgraded
was
a
the
bunch of
joke.
stuff. And then there's one area where they focused on architecture and all these other things. And there were
Mhm.
these vines growing grapes, and they were like
Terrible.
they were like 6 polygon grapes.
That's awesome.
PS1
When I went
grapes.
to when I went to Magfest that year, someone had made earrings out of them, and they were like there's like 4 sides to them and a top, and then they fixed them later on, but now it's a
Perfection.
joke. Rip
Oh
Alright.
man, I
poly
just found a
grapes.
paper template for low poly grapes that you
Yes.
can glue together. That's amazing. That's great. I love this.
This is how this
I
community is. We didn't get mad. We got upset that they changed them because we adored the low poly grape.
a great runner up for this food segment is pretty much anything from the Yakuza series
I
because
was gonna
let's
say
be
a
honest.
luxury bento. A
Let's be
luxury
honest.
bento.
Let's be honest. You can
Uh,
find these, and the cool part about the Yakuza games is if you combo the food together in certain ways, it gives you. Well, excuse me, in parts 7 and 8, if you comboed the food together in certain ways, you could get party-wide stat bonuses.
that's the turn-based ones.
Yes, yeah, like a dragon and
Oh, so the
Infinite
Yeah.
food
Wealth.
is like your potions and stuff.
You
Not
get those.
exactly.
You go to like a
Um,
combini and you can get like vitamins, like actual
You
items
can get
from real life.
consumables, yes,
Yeah.
but
You can actually buy a CC lemon.
I'm talking about
Oh.
it's Monster Hunter style, Mac. You go to your muscular chef and you give him the ingredients, and he combos together
Ah.
stat food for you.
Yeah.
That's
Monster
something
Hunter
you can do.
style, of course, being a typical style of cooking that
Mm.
reigns from the video game region of video game land. Where
Where
I just
Captain
love
N
that it's
resides
Monster
still?
Hunter style, and I'm like, I say no
To
more.
this day.
I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
exactly. What you mean. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for indulging me on that silliness. I didn't want to work so hard on this episode, so I just wanted to list a series of goofy foods from video games. But let's get to our less stupid segment of the show. We're going to be talking about the leftover games from this year. We ate very well on video games, too much, in fact.
Mhm.
There was no way that my wallet could afford to
Mm.
play all of these video games. I was too full. So, Buck, you are
Mhm.
eager to go here with your
I
list.
did
So,
understand this part of the assignment.
okay, and so go ahead and hit me with some games that you either didn't get to play this year that you wanted to, or maybe you bought them and you didn't get to play enough
Yeah.
of them, or didn't get to play them at all.
I was really good this year about beating games that I bought, Yakuza and Unicorn Overlord and Rebirth and all those kinds of things. But there's some other ones on this backlog list that I am shaming myself still that I haven't gotten. There's one that we hadn't mentioned at all as a group that I wanted to talk about at the top here because it got glossed over completely, and that's a Metroidvania. I'm talking Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah, I
choice.
played the
Yeah.
demo.
And it got great reviews, and it looked like a great little Metroidvania when I usually don't give two craps about Prince of Persia games anymore.
Right,
Not since
fair,
like the
yeah.
PS2 ones,
Yeah,
really.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was watching a video of it earlier today, and I was going, crap, this looks really cool. The boss fights look really fun. They remind me of like a lot of these other Metroidvanias that have come out recently. So that one's like pretty high up on my list.
It was pretty cool. The demo, it's pretty kinetic. Like it reminded me of a more action version of Ori or something. You're doing
Right.
flip and a second jump and then a dash and then an attack that allows you to essentially dash. But it has the harder combat. Combat
Right.
hard enough to where I personally was just like, you would have to enjoy action games a little bit more than I do to, I think, to dig this one.
It looks very well polished.
It certainly
I agree with
was.
that,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I've heard many people gush about, like Heather Ann Campbell, an action game person, enjoyed it, and other reviewers that I know that are action game people or people who are Souls heads, that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love getting their ass beat by Souls games, like
I
would
don't
like
want
it.
that.
You know what I mean?
But I don't, it gave me serious Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate vibes, which was the 2D. It was like Lords of Shadow 1.5. That was a more traditional kind of Castlevania, Metroidvania-ish game.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good one. I think you would like that one probably then, Buck. You have anything else? Any other ones you wanted to go over?
I think one of the ones that was at the top of your list. Well, actually, I'll save that one for you. I have another one that's another one on this list that I didn't touch that I really want to play, and that is Princess Peach Showtime.
Yeah.
That came out this year.
shit.
With
What?
Peach
That's
with the different
right.
jobs.
That's right.
And they had like the Ninja Peach and the Sherlock Holmes Peach and
It's just
stuff.
like a platformer, right? It's like
I think
it looks
I don't
like
know a lot about it other than the trailer.
Was it
stuff.
2D? It almost
Yeah.
my head literally just said like, did it kind of look like Beautiful Joe? Am I bugging?
Am I bugging?
Yeah, man, I can't believe that came out this year. No, I know which one. Buck, why don't you go ahead and talk about? You're going to talk about Zelda, right?
I did have Echoes of Wisdom on my list.
I know
yes,
it just came out in September, but I certainly didn't buy it, and it's one of those things where it's just like,
Yeah. I bought some other ones, and I didn't. I mean, I literally just bought the Dragon's Quest 3 HD remix because that's the next game that I'm going to play. So this is still getting pushed back further. The second Zelda game to feature
Right.
Zelda as the main character, if you're counting Wand of Gamelon for the
Yeah.
Panasonic 3DO. But like to make it a puzzle game and the way that they make it, like that's
Yeah.
I don't care if Zelda, Link, whoever is the main character. I've been dying for a handheld style Zelda game like that forever.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that it's on the Switch is, I mean, obviously it's going to be on the Switch, but I'm just saying, like, I could be playing it on the couch and it's like a little puzzle game. I'm sure I would like it. I just got to shell out the $50 to buy the goddamn
Nintendo
game that's
game.
only
It's not
going to
gonna
be
it's
like
not gonna go
12
down in
hours
price.
long, and then I'm going to have to never play it again because I'm probably not going to want to. And then,
Yeah, it's a Nintendo game. It's not going to go down in price. It's going to go up in
bastards,
price.
yeah. They know what they're worth. Raph, would you like to go with any games that you have left over from this year?
Yeah, I actually have a long list, unfortunately.
Hit me.
Man, I Metroidvania fans this year ate good. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say that right now. There are
Yeah, true.
several on my list that I really wish that I'd gotten around to playing. Chiefly amongst them, there was one called Frog Monster that came out this year, which was a first-person Metroidvania that I thought was really cool. Has very like Minecraft-y kind of graphics. Looks fun. Looks really fun.
Frog Monster.
Yeah, Frog Monster. Yeah, probably one that not a whole lot of people have heard of unless
Wasn't
you're like
even on
kind
my
of
radar. Yeah.
deep into Metroidvania.
I'm an idiot, and I just typed in Frog Monster into Google, and it just gave me a bunch of pictures of Frog Monster.
Guys, game
That's
this
not
came out
so
in-
funny.
It came out in April. It's an FPS Metroidvania. It's just a weird little game with a bunch of
Whoa.
bugs and frogs and lots of little creatures. Looks really cool.
And
This
monsters.
does look
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Frog Monster. It looks fun. The other one that came out earlier this year, that also in April, actually, a bunch of these came out kind of in April. But the Turbo Kid game. The Turbo Kid game looks sick as
Yeah.
hell.
Was that was from last year though, right?
Wait,
No,
Turbo
April 10th,
Kid the
2024?
movie?
No, yeah,
No.
Turbo Kid the movie. It has a Metroidvania.
It's not. I don't think it. Oh,
Actually, you know what? I don't think it's a Metroidvania. I think
No,
you
I
might
don't
be
think
right.
it's-
I think
I
some
don't think
people
it's-
kind of consider it one, but yeah, it came out in 2024. This one looked really cool.
oh yeah, it was this year.
Kind of action platformer, I want to say.
Mhm. With BMX bikes.
Yes, with a BMX bike, exactly. And then the one that really, like, chiefly amongst all of these games that I really wanted to play, as far as Metroidvanias are concerned, was Nine Souls. Nine Souls came out in May, and man, this is like a Sekiro-like Metroidvania, and it looks really sick. Kind of animation style really reminds me of the other one I mentioned earlier, Islets, and I think it might have. I'm not sure if it was the same
It's
developer.
a
or
great
not, but-
animation style.
Right.
Yeah,
It
just
looks gorgeous. It's got
This
a parry
is-
system.
This
that?
is more like that new Prince of Persia is kind of what I'm
Mm.
where it's like it's a Metroidvania where in which the combat is accentuated.
Very,
Like you
yeah,
said,
very
it's,
heavy, difficult combat.
Sekiro like.
There was another game that came out this year called Abathor that I really wanted to play. That was like a 4-player, like kind of arcade, 16-bit, like Golden Axe, like Castlevania 4 sort of game. This one looks really sick, but it's like 4 players. Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Rap with the deep cuts.
Yeah, dude. I went through my wish list and I kind of looked
Right.
at games that I wanted to play real
Mhm.
bad
No,
this year that just never
This
got around
game
to,
looks
you know?
like an arcade game called Rastan.
I heard about that.
This
Yes,
is a
I think that's on
complete
the list
like
of games
follow up
that's-
to Rastan. The way that the hero holds his sword like this
Yeah.
and
Like
swings it
Conan.
straight out is a straight up the
Abathor.
same sprite from Rastan.
I got
That's
2
cool.
more here real quick.
Man, this shit
A
looks cool.
JRPG
It does look cool.
called Felvidek that is a 15th century Slovakian style JRPG. It looks insane. It looks
You gotta
cool.
spell that.
I'm gonna need some
I'll,
spelling
I'll
for
never
that
be
one.
able to look it up later.
It's Felvidek.
You get that, Future
Um,
Mac?
Yeah, there you go. Check that out. It is wild looking. The graphics look insane. It's a
What
like
in
I
the
said,
absolute? Oh, I've seen the thumbnail of this, but I've never seen
This
any of
makes
these
me-
other.
this
What
makes me
in
think
the fucking
Dude,
hell?
this makes me think of like Helix
yeah,
Right.
a little bit.
This
Yeah,
makes
it's
me
giving me the
think
same
of that
vibes.
game
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
much.
Just a
What
lot of
in the
weirdness, man.
God's name! What a strange looking
Yeah.
game.
I know, right? It looks wild. That's one of the reasons I
does
really
look-
wanted to
it
play
does
it this
look
year. Just
wild.
never got around to it. My last one is one that I actually did buy and I have played a little bit of, but I want to get back to it after I kind of play through some of my other games in my backlog, and that's Scald Against the Black Priory.
Oh man, you
which-
started that?
I did start that. Yeah, it's quite
Wow.
good. Like it's very like I don't know, the look of it is really cool. It has like these weird sort of like roguelike mechanics with the
I was gonna say
movement.
it looks like a rogue, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like a like old school like Diablo style kind of like clicky JR like CRPG or whatever.
Are those FMV cutscenes in the game at all, or is that just the trailer?
I think that's just a trailer. Yeah. I didn't see any FMV style cutscenes like that. No.
There's like a kid at the end like sitting down at the computer and starting up the game. Like, oh, it looks like
This game has the wildest sort of like CRT filter I've ever seen. It actually like will give you like the warping of like the edges of the screen as if you're looking at a
Wow.
CRT. It's very cool looking.
fun. That's always cool.
Music is good. It's got a pretty dark, sort of Lovecraftian style story to it. I like it a lot. I want to get back to this one, but it's one of the games that I regret not playing more of this year. But yeah, dude, that's my list, man. It's long.
Scald
I
looks like
haven't-
one that if you stopped playing it, it would be super hard to jump back in.
Yeah, I'm almost certainly gonna start it back over. Like when I
It's
go
not-
back in, I'm gonna just
that's
start this
funny.
shit over.
Cryptic
Yeah.
as shit.
Not
yeah,
beginning
very
or
weird looking.
beginning friendly, yeah.
Mr.
no, that's fine.
Venicor, did you have any games you missed this year?
I got a short list, and one of them goes back to last year. I think it was on the docket for the Game Awards last year that I bought it and I played it one time and it was great. And then I just didn't play it again.
Yep,
I have
yep,
no good reason. I have no good reason, and that is Hi-Fi Rush. It is the
Yeah.
the beat-centric game from, I believe, Sega. It's I think Sega made. I think
It's
Atlas.
the
no,
now
no, not
defunct
Atlas.
and then revived the team that gave you
Yeah.
Evil Within and shit. I can't remember their
Mhm.
name, but yeah. That
Anyway,
game was
Hi-Fi
great as
Rush
well.
is
Yeah, that was another. I
Hi-Fi
played
Rush
like.
is great. The more you stay on beat, the stronger your attacks are, the more
Mhm.
involved the musical beats are, and it's all just about rhythm. It's like a 3D open, well, not open world, but think Crash Bandicoot Spyro the Dragon. You can move in 3D even though it's not full open world, and it's a rhythm game beat 'em up. Pretty cool
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't beat that one either. I got like 3 bosses down, and then, like you said, I don't know. It was so early on in the year that it was like,
Mhm.
it just fell by the wayside.
The thing I liked about that game a lot is that the personalities, the characters were very well built. The writing was very good. It was
Yeah,
genuinely funny. Like the little situations and the little interactions and the cutscenes between the characters, they weren't forced at all. They were genuinely funny.
it was
That game
impressive.
is like
Yeah.
a 10 out of 10 humor. I got two more I'll run through real quick.
We got time.
One, yeah, we got time. Unicorn Overlord kind of filled this
Mm.
void for me, so I
Oh.
never went back and finished Triangle Strategy,
Mm.
which is,
Oh.
yeah,
Same
played
here,
it,
actually. I never came
played
back to
it
that
for.
game.
Mm.
I know. Played it for like a day. And again, there's nothing
Wow.
wrong with it. It was
Yeah.
great. I mean, the characters were great. It had a really compelling story. You had decisions that actually mattered. It influenced what
Right.
characters like stayed with you and which would refuse to be a part of whatever mission, and branching story, and it was really solid pick.
Between those two and Metaphor Refantasio, just
Yeah.
like so much fantasy RPG to
Yeah.
play in
Mhm.
1 year. It's too much. No man could do this much.
Yeah.
That's
I got a
true.
really I got a really good play session of Metaphor this week, so I was really happy about that. I'm almost to the end of like the second palace. I haven't gotten as much playtime as I would like on it, but it's easy to jump back into.
Yeah.
And third and final, another gem that came out last year that was actually met with a lot of controversy because of what it was, and a lot of threatening to boycott and blah blah blah, and it ended up selling like crazy, and that's Hogwarts Legacy.
Ah.
Hogwarts Legacy, because of
Ah,
J.K. Rowling and
right.
people having feelings about stuff, drew a lot of controversy. And I'm not going to support this game. They all bought it and streamed it and played it anyway. Nobody sticks
Yeah.
to their guns with
No one
that
wanted
kind
to
of
be
stuff.
left out. That's what happened.
Nobody,
It was
yeah,
very big hit,
exactly.
yes.
And it's funny, Hogwarts Legacy is one of those games that I could play in front of my kids because there's nothing really objectionable going on. As opposed to a Mortal Kombat or answering a lot of questions with all the crazy visual whackery with metaphor. I'm not going to answer those questions from a 5-year-old. No way. But
Well, honey,
Hogwarts
that's the
Legacy,
mask that man puts on in public, so he doesn't have to show people his true feelings.
Daddy, why does
What's
that
up?
why does that fish have human legs and a hook sticking out of it? Nope, not even going there.
Don't worry,
Not at
Daddy's
all.
gonna kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Why does that big
Well,
shadow have a baby pacifier in its mouth? What?
wha-
Nope, not going there.
Jesus.
um, okay, great list. I have a pretty decent sized list as well,
Let's go.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Top of my list, Dragon's Dogma 2 came out in
Mm.
March.
Good one.
Dragon's
Good one.
Dogma 1 was a game that I put like 25, 30 hours into after I purchased it when it was on sale like 2 years after it came out. And have you guys played Dragon's Dogma? Any of you?
I've never played any of these games. I just know they have insane combat.
Yeah, it's a Capcom joint, and it's got pretty much the worst story I've ever like. Just like the plot of the game is whatever, but the actual going through the story missions is so incredibly tedious and boring that it was impossible to beat. But the combat is incredible. It's the game where you have enemies that are Shadow of the Colossus size, and you can climb on them if you're certain classes, and certain classes have more endurance than others. And there's sorcerers that have like can cast like literally have meteors come out of the sky, and it
That's
takes them like
crazy.
a full like minute and a half to cast it. So if you are that, and this is the game where you get to make your character and you get to make like a partner character, and then that partner character goes into a pool basically on the internet, and then every person drafts like a third party member, and your party member that you make goes into a pool so somebody else can draft them.
Cool.
And then you draft other
That is
people's
cool.
party members. You comprise yourself of the party. Anyhow, the second one looked better, and I thought maybe this time they'll learn and the story mode won't be so incredibly awful. But either which way, there's more classes now, and I assume the combat will be better. I don't know. A bunch of people played it and really, really liked it, and I just couldn't will myself to pay $60 for it because I was like, I know the story's going to be so bad, and I'm going to have to just muscle through so much of this game to get
The
to the
interwebs
fun
has already
combat.
told me so.
Yeah. But yeah, great third-person action that I didn't get to play at all. Another great third-person action game that I didn't get to play at all that I'm so disappointed in myself for not playing is Warhammer 40K Space
Oh,
Marine 2.
Oh,
Me
man.
too. Dude,
Yeah.
I
I
have
beat Space
$1,000
Marine
in-
1. Me and Buck have been in this 40K oeuvre for literally 30 years. And why the fuck have I not played this game? And we have not done a 3-player co-op run through of the story mode
I literally
yet.
went to Warhammer World last year when we made no trip to the UK.
What the
I went
fuck
to
am I waiting
Nottingham.
for? just buy the game, spend the $60. It looks
True.
so fucking good.
That's true.
It has the multiplayer mode where you can play as all the different factions of Space Marines. That is a thing that regular people are enjoying, and me and Buck aren't savoring, even though we would savor it so much more than all the normies that don't even understand what any of this stuff is.
Does it have crossplay? Can we get it on?
It's
I don't
got it.
know.
I feel like
That's a good
everything's
que-
got
I feel like
crossplay
most
nowadays,
good
yeah.
games do nowadays.
I
when
mention
they
that
use
just because,
Spartan
like,
Zero.
I'd really like to. I really would like to have a physical copy of it, which means I'd get it for PS5. But if we're gonna play it together, we have to play it on Steam, kind of
Right.
thing, right?
I think
Mhm.
I would probably want to get it on my computer just because everyone says it looks amazing. So I'd want to get my my
That
computer
full
run it
beefy computer
instead of my
inside of it,
Xbox. But moving on from that big AAA behemoth, little indie game in June, Tactical Breach Wizard came out.
Oh, this
Ooh.
game
The
looks
tactics
awesome.
game that's like the satirical thing where you play as a
Nice.
bunch of ex-Marines that are also that they live in a world where magic is real and they're all like it's like
That's
the A
cool.
team, but if everyone was magic, essentially. But everyone said it's super funny. I'm playing Metal Slug Tactics right now and just going like, man, I love a good tactical RPG.
Yeah.
Because there's not I haven't said that I have I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance this year, and I was just like, this does not scratch the itch.
Yeah,
Then I
remember when
played
it
that.
came out. It didn't.
I played Wargroove 2, and it was just like, this isn't scratching the itch either. But Metal Slug finally is, and everyone says Tactical Breach is really, really fucking good.
Is that the
and
same
it's only, like,
developer?
I don't know who developed. I should have looked it up, shouldn't I?
Metal,
I don't believe so, but
the reason why I mentioned that is because when I looked at Tactics, that same developer, Lekir Studios, whatever it is, they
Mhm.
made a bunch of other Tactics
Mm.
games.
Rounding out my list real quick, a DLC and 2 games. Hades 2 is one of the games.
Oh yeah.
The Hades 2 demo, whatever. Like I don't know if it
Early
came out.
access.
Yeah, the early access came out this year. Hades, a game that I creamed. Just oh my god, so amazing, amazing roguelike action game. The second one, you play as a cool lady and you're a witch. And it's got green instead of red. So I was just like, fucking sign me up. I'll play more of this. Absolutely. And I just never got around to, again, shilling out the $20, $25 to play it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I mean, it's technically not done yet. So if you want the full
and
experience,
if
you
I
can
buy
wait.
it now, I won't have to pay the full price when it comes out and it's $40.
That's true. You could just buy it and just let it sit there until it's done.
Let it
right?
cook. Let them cook.
Yeah. Luna said.
Here's a game that's on my backlog list that I know I'll never get to because I'm just not Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Oh,
Everyone says it's the best game that came out this year, and it's a game that's so intimidating to me, but it's there on the plate. It's one of the best Yakuza games. Everyone says it's just sitting there waiting to be played in this world, and
it's
I'll
probably
never
my game of the year.
I'll never get
Take
to
your
it.
time. Take your time on it. There's no rush.
It's true.
I mean,
There's
and it's one of those
advocating
games
for
where
it.
it's
It's just
super. Why
Who knows?
not? It's very
Yeah.
easy to pick up and put down and take your time and stretch
Yeah.
it or not. I mean, it's one of those. It's one of
Hey
those
man,
kind
if
of
it
games.
if it helps, it's not one that came out this year, but technically in my backlog is the first Like a Dragon. Like I've got that there, and I started.
don't have
playing
to
it
play
for
though.
We'll
this,
save our full backlogs for
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
I've
don't
got-
have an
I've got
idea
a-
for an
oh,
episode.
We
Infinite
Infinite Wealth is a great place to start, though. You don't have to play the first
Exactly.
turn-based Like a
Yeah,
Dragon.
That's
right.
another reason where I'm just like, just gotta play it.
I'll
Just
tell
do
you
it.
this though, Mac. It is
Just do
very good. It is a very good RPG in the respect of what do I do next? It's on your map. Like you can pick it
Yeah.
up and not be lost
Yeah.
where you were in the game.
And then finally, the DLC, of course, is Elden
Mm.
Ring Shadows of the Erd Tree.
Yeah, I think this almost made my list
picked
too.
up. I've been playing Elden Ring for over 100 hours, and every time I pick it up, I find new stuff still. The last time I played it was last month, and I picked it up after not playing it for a month, and it was just like, I don't know, I'm just don't even know what to. Oh wait, what's that? And then it was like,
Ooh,
oh
piece of
wait, never
candy.
mind, I'm not stuck anymore. It was so I just have to get around to getting through to the areas where I could actually play this DLC and fucking play it.
Yeah.
So that does it for my list of leftovers. That does it for our list of leftover games from this year. I'm full, but maybe I have a little
need
bit more
another
room
bite.
for Metal Slug Tactics.
Yeah, Metal Slug Tactics is so good.
So good. All right, we're going to take our final break of the episode, and when we come back, we'll do our What Else You Got and end our Thanksgiving episode. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, what else have you got for me this week, gentlemen? I will go first. This week, what I've got is not a video game. It's not a tabletop game.
Ooh.
It's a collectible card game.
Oh, I know what he's.
Tish and I, my girlfriend, we do a lot of screen stuff in this world nowadays, and she likes to do not screen stuff. In particular, she likes to like play a game like chess or something if we can. But chess is a breathy, intellectual game
Ooh,
that hurts your
chess,
head
yeah.
to play more than 2 games of. And she likes puzzles, and I don't fuck with puzzles at all. Like just like jigsaw
Aw.
puzzles, you know what I mean? Like just I'm just like,
Uh-oh.
it just doesn't, it can't catch my attention enough. And so I'm scrolling through Amazon the other day, and this is 25% on sale. So for $18, I picked up 2 starter decks of Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh, okay.
Do I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Magic the Gathering cards? Yes, I do. Of course I do. But if you know Magic the Gathering, you know that the way the decks are comprised is when you get a starter deck, you know, it's sort of built to function. And I don't want to go through my hundreds and hundreds of cards to fucking create a deck, you know what I mean, out of all of my now unorganized cards. Tish already knows the rules to Magic because she played it like a little bit in college.
Okay.
I've been playing Magic the Gathering since I was literally 6 years old. And so we
That's my
busted.
bad.
We have busted these bad boys out now like already 6 times since yesterday.
Oh,
like
fun.
we just keep playing and playing. This is a fantastic. I don't know if this is still on sale at the time of airing this episode. If you've never played Magic the Gathering, what a great way to sit down at a table, read instead of looking at a screen. It's not too much of a mental strain. You got the cool. I mean, it's just cool, man. I've been having a fucking awesome time playing Magic the Gathering with my girlfriend just as a way to have a time with her that is not in front of a screen that we both enjoy.
If I can make a recommendation to you, if you want to scratch that itch and try something different that she'll definitely like, try Lorcana, the Disney Ravensburger
I heard about this.
collectible card game. It fixed a lot of mechanics that Magic has been plagued with forever, mainly mana. And it's Disney IPs. It's cute as hell. The newest set that came out is a split deck of Tron and Rescue Rangers. Like the sets are great. I have one that's Scrooge McDuck and Moana, and there's another one with Robin Hood stuff. The characters are cute, but more importantly, the gameplay is like a throwback to the earliest versions of Magic because there's not a lot of mechanics yet because there's not a million sets. There's only like 4 sets out.
Right.
And it fixes some mechanics that don't make sense in Magic. And most notably in that game, you can't attack just any character that comes out. There's a whole mechanic for you get to do things with the character before they get killed instantly, kind of thing. So
well, that's my What Else You Got. This is just Core 2013, I think was the last one that came out. And it's so much fun. Or I'm sorry, 2023, not 2013. Doi. So yeah, new cards, not too many themed mechanics. You know what I mean? Just straight up this. I'm playing with red, blue, with straight up dragons, and she's playing with green, white angels. I'm just like, I love Magic the Gathering. I forgot how much I fucking love this game.
It's fun.
So
Mac,
addictive.
when we're done recording, I've got a game suggestion that I think you guys might like. It's a 2-player game.
Okay.
I think you guys might dig it. So
We shall see.
yeah.
So, Buck, what else have you got for us this week?
I've got two today. The first one is my Thunder Road Vendetta Thunderdome themed expansion came out. The Carnival of Chaos came in. They took that Thunder Road re-release that
Yeah.
Restoration Games is,
Yeah.
and they made a mode that is Twisted Metal.
What?
What do you mean? Like an arena
What?
battle?
Look at this. Look at the image here on the screen. If you're a YouTube kid,
So
it's
instead
a
of
circular
racing,
arena
you're
instead of a
you're
road.
just fighting.
So it uses all this other. Basically, they took Thunderdome and did what they should have done in Thunderdome. It should have been cars battling, not people battling, in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, starring Tina Turner and Mel Gibson.
You fucking That's so
And
funny.
so
Go
it's
tell
got-
him that. Go tell.
so
What's the name of the guy that makes all those movies?
Here's George Miller.
Go tell George Miller that.
Here's Turbo Tina down here, who's the character who has the Carnival of Chaos. It's all
Tina
Thunderdome
Turner,
thing.
right?
But it takes all the parts from the last Thunderdome, Thunder Road that they made, adds an extra character in this as well too, so you can play 5 players at least. And I'm so excited! It just came in. I did all the Kickstarter extras with like actual metal scrap tokens and stuff, but it literally becomes a Twisted Metal board game. My second one is, because I just had to share my good luck, right? There's a certain band going on a stadium tour next year, and me and my wife and a couple of our friends really want to go. So we do the whole Ticketmaster bullshit, right? You sit in a queue, you wait. When it gets to come out, you all get randomly placed in the queue. My wife gets 15,230 in place. That's her queue in place in queue.
Jiminy Christmas.
Her friend gets like 17,500 in place in queue. I get 525.
Whoa.
Nice.
So we all got pit tickets to see My Chemical Romance in
Oh,
Tampa
hell
next
yeah.
Hell
year.
yeah, dude.
And
Yeah.
I'm so fucking emo excited.
Hell
My
yeah,
Chemical
man.
Romance.
That's fucking awesome.
With Evanescence opening for them.
Oh my god, amazing, yeah. Take me,
It's it is literally called the Long Live the Black Parade. They're playing the Black Parade from beginning to end. Plus, I'm sure they'll play, Helena and Cemetery Drive and all that shit. Too.
Not my
They're
favorite
playing
album
the
by
best
them,
album.
but that will be fun. I love them. They're a great.
That
band.
sounds like a great time.
Yeah, I mean, what have they? I mean, they just because of Umbrella Academy and all the other stuff, they just went on hiatus for like a decade and a half.
Right. Nice. Congratulations on scoring those tickets. That's fantastic. Raph, what else have you got for us this week?
Not much, honestly. I've been diving in deep. I mentioned that I last time I got that Capcom Fighting Collection. I've been diving in deep on those. So I've been having a blast, man. I've been playing a lot of Darkstalkers, a game that I have zero
Cool.
experience with.
Oh,
And dude, Darkstalkers kicks ass. Like I'm actually
does.
almost having. I'm gonna hit my mic right now. I'm
so
almost
excited.
having more fun with that than I have been with Street Fighter over the last like week or so. But dude, yeah, Darkstalkers kicks ass, especially the Japanese releases. Like a lot of the Japanese ones have like really nice fluid movement.
It's
Like
very
I don't know.
stylish.
Yeah, very stylish. The music is cool. I don't know. It's got a really weird vibe. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like almost like I feel like I'm doing something dirty playing that game. It's weird.
Well, I mean, you know what
It's
you're
'cause of-
doing.
it's 'cause of
Felicia's
yeah,
butt.
yeah, you know.
Look,
what's
I'm
good.
not saying that I'm a Morrigan.
When I
main,
said
but I'm just saying,
stylish,
you know.
I meant sexy. I
Yeah, it's quite horny. I'm not gonna lie. This game is quite horny.
Raph,
That
why
Mummy
is every fight-
Rockstar, or
why is
whatever the
every
zombie
fight
Rockstar.
Yeah, oh yeah, what is his name? I forget. The
forget.
dude that's like a zombie. Why is
Eddie
every fight?
Dedder. I don't know.
Every
That's-
fight in Raph's this is just Morgan versus Felicia. What's up with that?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And he just
exactly,
sets
yeah.
the timer to infinite and just has
Yeah,
them
man,
stand
I
on
just
opposite
keep-
sides of the screen.
Yeah, it ties into me just constantly playing as Cammy and Street
yeah.
Fighter, but whatever. I guess the other thing is that I also discovered this week that the gamepad, the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is not very good for fighting games.
Right.
That D-pad is very, very tiny. So I picked
Yep.
up a new I picked up a new gamepad specifically to play fighting games on my Switch and potentially online. So I'm waiting for that to come in. That's coming in
wow.
sometime later this week. My birthday's coming up, so it's kind of like that. That's my my own birthday gift for myself.
What
so,
brand
yeah.
do you know off the top of your head?
It's an 8-bit dough. It's kind of like the one that our friend David has, but it looks like kind of like an old Sega Genesis controller. Let me see. I'll get you the name of it.
that's fine.
Here, I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you after the episode. The other thing is actually not really new. It would have been maybe something that could have been in a news segment like a couple of weeks ago, but it's very relevant to me, and I figured that I'd probably bring it up. But Alien Isolation 2 finally confirmed after several fucking
Whoa.
years. Podcast
Wow,
powers
really?
unite. We've done it, boys.
I thought he was just going to start talking about Alien Isolation yet again.
No,
Yeah,
Alien
well, he
Isolation
is.
2 confirmed. It's coming out, baby.
Well, he is.
That's it, man. That's my what else you got.
Any
That's what's
fucking
going on
chance
with
he's
me
got.
right now. Hell yeah, I'll bring it up anytime. Yeah, that's what I got, man.
All right, nice. That is excellent. Mr. Venicor, go ahead and give us what else you've got this week, if you've got anything, and we'll get on out of here.
Oh my gosh, guys, my house is almost done. My
Woo!
house is
Thank
almost done.
goodness.
My
Let's
actual
go, Venny Cave. Let's
real,
go.
My actual real place of living is almost done being built. We're about 5 weeks away. We've gotten the move-in date of the weekend before Christmas. Thank God. It's been a whirlwind. So that's been top of mind because we're in this little apartment just on top of each other. It's not a great environment.
I
And
told
I
you you
don't-
could have stayed here.
And I don't.
Mm.
No, you have no idea the
I'm just
wrath that
picking
you're
on- I'm just
inviting in.
picking on you.
No, it's been an emotional journey this year, and it has all been centered around getting this house done to set us up for the next 20 plus years.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Awesome,
Cheers.
dude. Forever home.
In the
man.
video game arena, I have Metal Slug Tactics. It's fantastic. You already talked about it this week. I was just playing it right before we got on. Me and Buck did some 2v8 Dead by Daylight killer games, and before that, I was doing.
Yeah, I bet you guys are
Metal Slug
excited that's
Tactics.
back.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's
I
really
saw
great.
that
They've added-
announcement and I was like, well, they're gone.
What they did was they took the killers they already had on the docket and they added 3 more, and they just expanded the roles, expanded the perks. They made it even cooler this time, if that's even possible. I will tell you this though, if you play Metal Slug Tactics, don't get frustrated because you feel like it's a little overwhelming at first and why do I keep dying? You're gonna start finding like 2-turn combos to wipe the whole map before
I
you
watched
know
him
it.
do it right before this. I
Yeah.
watched him do it.
That's when it gets really, really fun.
That
and the
requires
game,
so much force, like thought though. It's
Yeah.
incredibly satisfying to
love
just
it.
be like,
It's-
okay, I gotta shoot her because then Marco gets the power where he gets to move after he kills someone as part of an assist, and he still hasn't taken his turn. You'll get it to where like Clark will shoot off 3 shots and he hasn't even taken his turn yet. And you're like, what the
Yep.
like?
That's cool. That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a good tactics game when
Yes.
you can put
You're
some
gonna-
thought into it and get that out.
You're gonna get that first boss down to a
Oh,
2-turn kill
it's
in
such
like
a
your
good
first couple of
IP.
days.
It's so
Yeah, it's
good.
just
The
wonderful.
style
It's
is
so much
fantastic.
style. Yeah,
The
Always-
tanks
always had
just
that.
look
Dripping
so
with style.
fun. Everything
It's
looks
very
so fun.
faithful. All the sprite
got a-
animations are very faithful to the OGs.
I got a question for you and Buck, Mr. Venicor. Just like going back to the Dead by Daylight. How long is that mode going on right now? Do you guys know?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's it.
A
Basically, I
fortnight.
think what they're doing is they're bringing it back for 2 weeks. They might end up extending it again, and then they take a month off and they tweak it some more, and then they're going to bring it back again. I think it's going to now become in a regular rotation.
That would be
like
great,
that.
yeah, because that's like I said, I just got Dead by Daylight in October, so I'd love to play that some more. I haven't
Hop
played
on,
in a
let's do some
while,
killer
so, yeah.
survivor games, man. It's
Mhm.
a whirlwind with 10 freaking people on a map.
Sounds like
Yeah,
That
a
seems
lot.
like a
my
fucking
gosh,
game
just
you'd love.
Hit us
Raph.
up. Hit us up.
Yeah, I mean,
whenever.
like I said, I have it. I got it for October. I played a couple of games with Buck, and like it was a lot of fun. So I'd love to jump back into that sometime.
2v8 is way more casual just for fun. So there's a lot less, there's less risk. Everybody's just nuts. It gives you a chance to really just
sounds
have
chaotic.
fun and experiment.
There's
It's
no
chaotic, but
meta
in a
of any
fun way.
perks. There's
There's no-
classes for the
yeah, there's-
killers and the
there's no
survivors. So
meta.
it goes from 140 perks to 4 classes.
Mm.
It's your only choices
Ah,
as
okay.
a survivor.
That's kind of
And
cool.
4 classes as a killer. So it simplifies that and almost makes it a party game.
Yeah,
It makes
Wow.
it a lot more casual, in my opinion, which is great.
I
You
like
need
it.
that sounds
fun.
fun. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
really really
Less
fun.
sweaty.
Yeah, less sweaty.
Yeah.
Less sweaty is right.
Nice. Raph, I'm sure you'll be in there later. But for us now, 'tis the end. It is the end of today's show. We've done it. We've completed another episode. Thank you so much for listening or watching. Do us a huge favor. Like this episode, subscribe to the channel, or subscribe to the Spotify feed if you're listening to this on Spotify. If you are just listening, though, I should recommend that you go over to our YouTube and subscribe there because we do live streams every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
of different varieties.
of all
yeah.
different games. We got Baldur's Gate, we got horror games, we got Dead by Daylight, we got Metal Slug, we got watching
Dragon
a
Quest
Dragon
movie.
Quest movie. Like we
Yeah.
do all sorts of random shit, and you can only see that on YouTube. That's sort of like our home base. So why don't you head
That's
on
fair.
over there and check it out. Sorry. Finally, reach us at our email, gametreasurepodcast@gmail.com, with any questions you may have. Or Buck got a suggestion from a subscriber about a retro zone that he wanted done the other week. We did Ninja Gaiden 2, which is a fantastic game that I forgot when I was looking up the footage of. I was like, oh my God, me and Buck had this game we were growing up, and this is a very good game. We want to thank Krugquitch for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find them on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere that you can find music on the internet, pretty much.
They're 50% of the way to their next album, so let's help them get that 5th album out.
That is prolific. Wow,
Go
fantastic.
support them. Yeah.
And of course, we would like to thank RetroGameTreasure.com. Owned and operated by the Megabuck, Retro Game Treasure is a subscription service that takes the hassle out of collecting retro games. No more hunting, no more guessing, no more wasted time. Instead, you simply tell Retro Game Treasure what kinds of games you want to collect, and then those games come to you every month. That's right. Your box of games will be filled with games according to your taste and your collection. They even keep track of the games you already own, so you never get repeat games in your boxes. Want to start collecting a new console? No problem. Head on over to their console shop page, whether you're a member or not, to get great deals on new and refurbished consoles and console accessories. Start collecting games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. Buck, do you have your
Yeah.
list of new subscribers this week?
Yeah, this week we welcome James Terzian, Jason Evans, and Shanda Langley. Just a note to our Canadian subscribers, business note here. Don't worry about worry about it, but the Canadian postal strike going on, your boxes are on the way. Our providers are still getting them to you. They just might take a little longer than normal.
Whoopsie doo. With that, I bid you adieu. My name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.